This is my Altoids tin I carry wherever I go as a woman living in an urban environment. These are not tools which will save my life in an emergency situation, but they will make my day-to-day life easier when small inconveniences arise. So starting with the outside of the tin, these two items help keep it closed, and they're also useful for other things. The first one being a hair tie, useful for tying hair, and a rubber band, which you can use for tying up cords together, or maybe even keeping a chip bag closed. And then also on the outside of the tin, I have a couple strips of Gorilla Tape, so I have some on the bottom here, as well as the top. And getting into the contents of this tin, on the underside of the lid, I have two Band-Aids here, and they are secured with this bobby pin that I used a piece of masking tape to hold all together. Band-Aids are always useful for little cuts and things, and bobby pins can be used to pin hair back or pin things down. Also in the lid here, I have a alcohol swab, and because it's behind the Band-Aids, I don't need any additional masking tape to hold it into place, so the Band-Aids and the bobby pin combination hold it together well. I have a piece of Moleskin here, and you can use that to tape on the back of your ankles or something in case there's chafing. Lastly, I have the original covered up here, but this is a contacts list for emergency numbers that I might not have memorized. Nowadays, everyone carries a phone. We all have contacts in our phone, but in the event that my phone dies or I can't get to it, I at least have a couple numbers here. And getting into the main compartment of the tin, I'll start with this microfiber cloth I got from a pair of sunglasses. So it's the full size it came in. I didn't have to cut it or anything. But it not only helps muffle the noise from the rest of the contents, but also is useful to have if you wear glasses or sunglasses and you want to wipe them off. And then going from left to right in this top layer, I have a piece of gum, just one piece. I have the Trident brand here, and I like this one specifically because it fits perfectly on the side. Next up, I have this little medications kit. I actually bought these tins off Amazon. They were about $7 for 6 of these, and you could fit more in this tin. It's just that I only needed one for my purposes. I use this just for medicines. You can see here that I have a half of a cotton swab, which is well paired with this little tube of Neosporin I put together. I basically took a plastic straw, melted one end, and squeezed in the antibiotic ointment and melted the other end. So it's kind of the single-use packet that's completely customizable in what you keep in it. And then I have a couple of Advil, some Benadryl. In this gum wrapper is actually 2 Pepto Bismol pills. I wanted to keep them in the blister pack, but it was just way too big. So I cut them out. I used the wrapper from some gum that I chewed. You could obviously use like foil or parchment paper or something like that, just to keep it separated from the rest of the pills. You don't want them to cross-contaminate or anything. And then I also have a little safety pin wedged in there. And on the underside of this lid is just the dosage amounts. Next up is probably the bulkiest item in this kit, which is a Neutrogena makeup remover. This is probably the most useful item that I carry. Whether or not you wear makeup, these are great for just wiping your face on a hot day. Maybe you've been out somewhere that you don't have access to a restroom or running water, but this will clean off your face. It'll get rid of that sweat, sunscreen, grime, and dirt. So these are really great for that. I also carry one of these toothpick picks. It's got a little floss end on one side and then a pointy end on the other side. And along with that, I actually have a spool of floss. I also wrapped it using the gum wrapper trick that I did for the Pepto Bismol, but as you can see, I just took this out of a travel-sized floss kit in case I needed string or floss. This is a great little thing to have. So I also have a Bic crystal pen, and the way I cut this to size was actually pretty neat. I found a TikTok video. I can kind of play it for you guys here. The elastic string of a face mask, and using friction, heat, and physics, I was able to melt through the plastic shell, which is pretty thick. I mean, you could also use like a PVC cutter or a saw, but it was just a little hack I saw and it worked perfectly well. I just also used some sandpaper to smooth it out. and I cut the ink cartridge a little on the shorter side, but it works perfectly well. I also have a small pair of nail clippers, and these are useful not just for trimming nails, which you probably shouldn't do in public anyway, but I have really dry skin, so I get a lot of hangnails, and instead of just trying to peel them off, these come in really great handy for trimming those. There's a little nail filer here, cuticle cleaner, and then of course the clipper side. So it's like a 3-for-1 tool. And then I have one of these compressed towels. They're also very similar to the makeup remover in that this version, if you get it wet, it'll expand approximately to the size of a paper towel sheet, and so you can use that to wipe off a spill, wipe yourself off. But it's really handy to have one of these if you don't have paper towels easily accessible, or napkins or something like that. And then I have a wet one hand wipe, which is kind of like an equivalent of hand sanitizer if you want to wipe your hands or a surface that you might be eating off of. I have 3 sheets of an index card here held together by a paper clip. These are blank front to back, but they pair very nicely with this pen if you want to leave a note for someone or just jot down something for yourself. I also have this $20 bill here, and while I use credit cards most of the time, and I do carry a little bit of cash in my wallet, this is just like an emergency bill in case the cash in my wallet doesn't cover it and none of my cards are working. I've also got a little plastic bag here, which can serve either as like a little makeshift glove if I want to pick something up but don't actually want to touch it with my fingers, or maybe I need a little trash bag and I don't want to put something in my pocket. And last but not least, I have this utility blade here, and as you can see, I wrapped Gorilla Tape around 9/10 of the blade, so only a little bit of the corner sticking out. That was an idea I got from a YouTube video and was great because it kind of serves as a handle. If you want to like slice something open, you can grip it safely. One thing I will say about carrying this is if you're heading to a venue or an event that they don't allow blades, this might get flagged. So make sure you take it out of your bag before you attend, or if you don't mind security tossing it out. I mean, it is a very cheap utility blade, so it's not much of a financial loss should you have to do that, but just keep that in mind if you want to keep one of these in your tin. Thanks for watching, and hopefully you found some inspiration in this video. Let me know what you think in the comments.